Welcome to another edition of Tips, Tricks, and Oops. I'm Terese Goren, and this is May 1st, 2012. And with me I have...
Estin Talavera.
And...
Sanford Alexander, and I'm glad you did the introduction, because I thought it was 2011.
Well, you know.
I guess that would have been an oops.
Yeah. Well.
Speaking of which, Estin, I have an oops to start the show.
Okay.
Do tell.
I bought a new set of headphones, which are wonderful. I love them. I forgot what brand they are, and I forget what they're called, but they're good.
I think they're Sennheisers, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
They're Sennheisers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
okay.
I was listening to something the other day, and my phone rang, and on my Bluetooth headset, I just have to say answer, and I did. And it didn't do anything. And I had to say answer again. And it didn't do anything. Yeah, so that's when the oops happened. Because then all of a sudden I realized that, oops, this set of headphones is not Bluetooth. And by the time I could get to the answer button on the phone, it had already gone to voicemail.
Yep.
So you have to remember what equipment you're using. And sometimes, you remember, Terese, you were talking the last time, how sometimes you get your hotkeys mixed up. That's essentially what happened. So I guess the tip to avoid the oops is to remember what you're using and what its features are, and it'll avoid problems.
Yeah, now, Sanford, you had the Blue Ant Q2 headphones, if
I do.
Q2 earbud, right?
I do.
And that's a Bluetooth earpiece, and so that's why that had that feature in it. But these Sennheiser, are they earbuds? Or are they?
No, they're full headset.
Okay, it's a full headset.
Over the ears, the rest of the world goes far, far away.
Just a set
My
of
wife has
kids.
to use the telephone to call me when supper's ready because I can't hear her.
Oh, huh. Okay, so they're
planet.
Different planet. You know, we've been trying to do this as an unscripted, unrehearsed, let's get to it, and your new trend gets me into the other thing that happened over the last week or so. For those of you that were with us in episode 1, you know that we are not trying to really be a tutorial per se, but really share day-to-day what we're finding in our technology and how to get around some of the odd things that we run into. And I had the same problem with my iPhone that Estin's talking about in terms of with the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, I'm sorry, when you're working on pulling down the internet on your 4G, 3G,
the data connection.
Whatever your data connection is, the battery goes, I mean, it really just sucks up juice. And
yeah, big time.
I decided I needed to get some kind of battery chargers. And the problem I had with, you have the new Trent.
Yeah, I do.
And it's another little box to carry around.
Pretty much.
And yeah, and remember, one of the things I wanted to do was try and get myself down into one box.
Yep.
So when I went looking, Terese was with me. We were looking in the store, and we found a cute little cigarette lighter-sized device, and you pulled out one end and it would plug into the phone, and you pulled out the other end and it was a USB connector, and it looked like it was going to be a pretty good deal. And I tried it and didn't charge the battery.
Oops.
And it was another oops, yeah. So I looked at it a little bit and played with it and went back to the store and found out that there was nothing wrong with the device. It worked, but the case that I had on my iPhone was too big for the connector from the charger to seat completely in the phone.
Oh dear.
So, you know the little twerp it makes, the tweet?
Yeah.
When you plug in? It would do that, but then it would wiggle loose and it wasn't charging.
And it doesn't tell you when it's wiggled loose.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It feels like it's in there, but it's
Right.
not.
Right.
So it wasn't working, and I had a dilemma because it was the case's problem, not the device's problem.
Mhm.
And I was looking at it, and I ended up looking at a Morphe juice pack,
Mhm.
which is a pretty nice device. They say it'll give you about 5 to 8 hours of battery, and I think it will, but I haven't gotten to the point where it ever needed to yet. It works really well,
Huh.
and the phone just sits in. As a matter of fact, I guess I could show it to you. Estin,
Bring that on out there.
I'll bring it on out.
Yeah.
Here you are, Estin.
All right.
On the
Okay, yeah, so basically what we have is a very, I would consider it a little bit bulky, but that's my own deal. Case for the phone that makes the phone sit out. Actually, it's not as bulky as I thought it would be.
No, it's not.
You can still get to the volume, you can still get to the mute, unmute. Now, does this come with a screen protector?
No,
No?
it might, but
There's no screen protector?
It didn't come with it.
Okay.
Or it's in the box and they haven't found it. That's possible. But the way you get into the top here, you just,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just,
yes, you find a spot. And
You haven't broken
the
in
top
yet.
comes off,
oh,
all right?
uh-huh.
And now the phone is exposed.
Yeah, but the wrong end of the phone is exposed.
If you pull the phone out,
Uh-huh.
feel how it sliding out of the case?
Mhm.
I heard how it jerked.
It jerked, okay?
Yeah.
And you feel the connector in the bottom there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now you just slide the phone back in,
And it connects.
and it connects. And then you push the top back on,
Alright,
and push it down.
I have the top here, and will he get the top back on? No.
Well, you gotta kinda just line it up in the track.
Looks pretty sweet though.
It
Yeah.
works much
No.
better if you put it on the right way. You had it backwards.
Oh.
Oh.
Tip, make sure it's on the right way.
Yeah, that's
And now,
always good, and make sure
push
you
it. There you go.
pull it in, or push
And now
it
it just goes together and it's fine.
Uh,
It's off the track.
Yeah, it's off the track, yeah.
So, now, you were talking about the...
The nutrient thing, and let me go ahead.
Show
and,
your nutrient.
Let me show you the nutrient, and my phone's going to talk to me now. Okay, so this is the nutrient battery pack, and if I can get this out here, and this is also my iPhone, and I have it connected right now because my battery was at about 20% by the time I got to Envision. And so I have on here we have a little micro USB port that allows the battery to charge, and then we have one USB port that right now is taken up by the iPhone, and then we have another USB port. Let's say I want to charge my my little earpiece. Then I have another cord that will charge the earpiece. And then there's this little rectangular button that you push. Once you push this little rectangular button, it turns on, and it was already on. I pushed it. It has something called auto off, or that, well, that's not what it's called in the manual, but I call it auto off. The reason I call it that is because if you unplug this from the battery, it actually turns itself off. So once it's unplugged, it's literally not draining any battery. Now in the manual,
That's good.
yeah, in the manual, they say that this can charge the iPhone up to 3 times back to full.
Very cool.
I've never tried it in succession. I charge most of my things at least once a day, just on average. But with this nutrient, I usually charge it once a week. And then when I'm here at Envision for a long time, or here doing different things, I can plug this in, I can charge my phone or whatever, because these are just usual USB ports. There's nothing special about them. So you can plug in any USB device. So let's say you have an Android phone. Most of those Android phones have micro USB ports for chargers. I say most because I'm not sure if all of them do or not, but I'm pretty sure that most do. And so what you do is you plug one end of the USB cord in here, and you plug one end into the Android phone, or let's say you have a Kindle, because those use the same kind of port. Then you can plug in those and charge those.
Now you're using, just out of curiosity, you're using the default US English voice, correct?
Correct. I'm using Samantha,
Okay.
and Sanford is using the default UK.
Default
And I don't know
US.
what, I
Daniel.
forgot what his name is. Daniel?
Yeah, it's Daniel.
Is it Daniel?
Yeah, it's Daniel.
And I'm using the New Zealand one. I just thought that was interesting that we all had
Different voices.
Different voices.
Well, that would be a whole nother topic for a whole nother.
It just
Because,
caught my attention
yeah,
there.
different. Well, that's good because you can always tell whose phone is out, because if it's the UK sounding voice, then it's probably Sanford's phone.
Mhm.
If it's the Australian male voice, it's probably Terese's phone. And if it's the US female voice, then it's probably my phone.